A Pokemon is obviously incomplete without a moveset, and each Pokemon has an access to an average of 73 moves that it can learn. There are few exceptions to this rule like Mew, who can learn every move by TM and HM, Arceus can learn every TM move relative to its current type, and Smeargle can permanently copy an opponent's move to its moveset, with the exclusion of moves like Dark Void, Hyperspace Fury, and Revival Blessing, etc. Pokemon with terrible stats are often saved by a diverse move pool that complements their playstyle. Take for example Clefairy with Follow Me, but the great Pokemon with bad move pools are often unsalvageable. So today we'll be attempting to fix and hopefully improve some of the terrible moves that serve niche to no purposes at all. First off, we have the move Incinerate, a 60 base power move with the secondary effect of burning up the target's health berry, making it no longer usable. Perhaps the move could be useful against Pokemon with the Harvest or Sheep Pouch ability like Trevenant or Greedent, but its usage is fairly niche. Why not just use Knockoff, the more universal item removal move that also removes berries? Unlike Knockoff, Incinerate does not receive a damage boost when depleting the target of its held item, making it even less desirable. Another move that can only function when a berry is involved is Belch, a base 120 power move with 90% accuracy that can only be used if the user has previously consumed its held berry. This move is significantly better than Incinerate as it's much less situational. Perhaps your Pokemon could pop a Select or Custard Berry to raise its speed before using Belch. For the solution, I propose giving Incinerate the same secondary base effect as Knockoff, guaranteeing item removal, with the exception of items like Z Crystals, Mega Stones, or like Arceus Plates, etc. That way more support Fire-type Pokemon limited to only Incinerate can provide additional utility to their team. Crafty Shield is a Fairy-type priority move that blocks all incoming status moves except Pear Song and Hazards. I don't understand the purpose of this move, as Protect does the exact same thing but better. Using Crafty Shield means you're still susceptible to attacks, making it almost pointless unless you're expecting a status move. But then again, Protect still outshines it in every single way. So perhaps as an improvement, Crafty Shield could have a secondary effect like Baneful Bunker or Burning Bulwark. It could possibly infatuate enemies if the user is hit with a contact move. Since Infatuation is fairly unreliable competitively, Crafty Shield could alternatively redirect hazards and status moves like the ability Magic Bounce. Now Pokemon like Cofagrigus and Klefki can effectively block hazards from infamous hazard stackers like Gliscor and Araquanid. I still doubt Crafty Shield would see much usage because of its inability to protect the user from incoming attacks, but perhaps this buff could give it slightly more purpose. The next move left me scratching my head as to why it even exists or how it went through Game Freak's processing without being scrapped. The event move Hold Hands does absolutely nothing besides apparently making the user and its allies very happy. And yeah, I get that it's an event move and it's more of a collector's artifact. But why is it only given to Vivillon? Vivillon doesn't even have hands. And aside from being a carbon copy of Splash and Celebrate, Z Hold Hands has the unique effect of raising all the user's stats by 1 stage each, in addition to its original effect, which is actually pretty okay. Except Vivillon already gets Quiver Dance, a more reliable setup move that it can use reliably unlike Z Hold Hands, which is only limited to a single use before it essentially becomes a waste of space. To make things even worse, Z Hold Hands is straight out outclassed by Eevee's signature Z move Extreme Evil Boost, which raises the user's stats by 2 stage each, meaning that Focus Sash Eevee could essentially baton pass its boosted stats to a fast sweeper like Kartana or Victini, at least before the baton pass ban in Gen 7 OU. Being outclassed by Eevee of all Pokemon is kind of insane, so perhaps Hold Hands could also raise the allies' Pokemon defense by 2 stages? Maybe that would be a good secondary effect, and hopefully that wouldn't make it too overpowered in doubles, but since Vivillon is the only Pokemon that receives this move, I highly doubt it. Heart Stamp is a base 60 power psychic type move that has a 30% chance of making the opposing Pokemon flinch. Sure, its base power is low, but a chance to flinch is always nice. The main problem here is that most of the Pokemon that receive this move are special attackers, with the exception of Miltank. Why? It's not like they're physically stamping a heart onto the opponent, are they? Anyways, a simple buff could be to raise its base power to 80 and change it to a special attacking move, essentially transforming it into a psychic type special attacking Waterfall. Iron Deluge is a move with +1 priority that turns all normal type moves into the electric type. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? That's probably because the ability Galvanize does the exact same thing, except you're not required to waste an entire turn to apply its effect. And since most of the Pokemon that learn it are inherently electric types that don't even learn that many normal type moves to begin with, I'd suggest deleting this move from Exist. Oh, okay, they've already done it. But all jokes aside, if this move ever makes a comeback, possibly in Legends EA, they could buff it by temporarily granting the user immunity to ground type moves just like Magnet Rise does, or boosting the user's special attack by 1 stage. Of course, it won't be anything too special or game-changing, but perhaps a 10-year-old could ponder for a few seconds before deciding not to teach it to their Ampharos. Similar to Hold Hands, I'm not sure how this next move even got approved. Rototiller is a ground-type status move that also raises the ally's attack and special attack by a single stage each. But get this, it only works if the ally is a grass type. Like, I understand that an actual Rototiller makes it easier for plants to grow, but its applications are just so niche. There's no reason to not use Coaching instead. Correction, Rototiller doesn't just raise the attack and special attack of ally Pokemon, the boosts also affect enemy Pokemon, as long as they are grass type. Yeah, it's worse than we imagined. Flower Shield is an equally useless move that raises the defense of all grass-type Pokemon on the field by a single stage, so I guess I'll bring that up as well. These moves were scrapped after the 2 generations, ending their short-lived and forgotten legacy. But if they were to make a comeback, I'd suggest making Rototiller raise the speed of grass-type Pokemon by 1 stage in addition to its original effects, and Flower Shield can raise an ally's base defenses by 2 stages each. Yeah, I said allies. They should modify these moves so that its effects are only applicable to ally Pokemon, since you obviously wouldn't want to be helping your opponent's grass types. Listen closely and comment what you hear down below. Was it Brainstorm or was it Twinneedle? That was so lame. Twinneedle is a bug-type physical move introduced in Generation 1 and it's one of the 4 pathetic bug-type moves in Gen 1, possibly the most tragic of them all. All Twinneedle does is hit twice with base 25 power each, and each hit has a 20% chance of poisoning the opposing Pokemon. Sure, it was overshadowed in future generations by stronger bug-type moves like X-Scissor or U-Turn, but it was never that good to begin with. Maybe base 45 power per hit could be a decent buff. This move could perhaps see some competitive use as a substitute of Focus Sash Breaker with a small chance of inflicting poison. It's a simple buff, but sometimes that's all it takes to elevate a move from bad to viable. Spicy Extract is the signature move of the Scovillain line, and it's basically Screech with 100% accuracy, except it has the drawback of raising the enemy Pokemon's attack by 2 stages. In the face of a physical attacker, this move is completely useless since Scovillain's bulk is mediocre to begin with, and the last thing you want is to deliver the victory to your opponent on a silver platter. Additionally, Spicy Extract does not complement Scovillain's most optimal playstyle at all. You'd ideally want to use Scovillain as a Chlorophyll special attacker in the sun with Stab, Fire Blast and Solar Beam, meaning that if anything, lowering the opponent's special defense would be much more preferable. Since the attack raise is what makes Spicy Extract so unique as a move, I guess we could retain that. But as a buff, Spicy Extract could now lower the opponent's special defense by 2 stages. So this move could allow Scovillain to hit things even harder in the sun. So that's it for the video, and if you enjoyed, please remember to like and subscribe since 93% of you guys are still not subscribed. Thanks for watching.